Well, Giannis Antetokounmpo really is a damn freak, and at this point must ultimately be considered as potentially the most underrated player in the entire NBA today. Yes, here is your friendly reminder. He won back-to-back league MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year award in one of those two seasons, joining only Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon to accomplish that feat. Oh, and then won a freaking NBA championship with Chris Middleton as his second option. Yet no one talks about this guy anymore, seemingly as the league has been overtaken by Nikola Jokic and whatever player the mainstream media hilariously decides to try to prop up to his level from a year-to-year basis. But perhaps in that pursuit, we are just overlooking that which has been right under our noses all along, as Giannis's back-to-back league MVPs came before Nikola Jokic's hostile takeover as the best player on planet Earth. But Giannis is still here, languishing away like poor Nikola Jokic on his crappy, cheap, small market team, and he is still absolutely dominating the NBA in his own right, posting arguably better numbers this season than he did in those two league MVP years. Giannis is dropping staggering but all too pedestrian averages for him this season of 30 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists on 60% from the field. And last night, he upped the ante and did something no one has ever done before, namely a 35, 20, and 15 game. In particular, that would be 35 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds. And yes, no one, not even Jokic, has done that yet. The middling garbage can Milwaukee Bucks, again cursed with some absurd injury luck, were actually trailing in this game by 17 points to the tanking 76ers, but Giannis led the Bucks back to a 126-113 come-from-behind win to stay afloat in the battle for the 5 seed. Antetokounmpo either scored or assisted on a whopping 32 of the Bucks' 46 field goals in this game, meaning he accounted for 70% of his team's output. And Giannis gets the same irrational and disgusting hate that Jokic is subject to, with ignorant and dismissive takes about how they don't win enough, despite the fact they are shackled by the constraints of their small market team's front office ineptitude in building a viable competitive supporting cast around these freak unicorns. I mean, check out what Giannis has done the last 4 postseasons. Please do so and find a way to be critical of him. I dare you. Following his back-to-back MVP years, he won the aforementioned title in 2020-2021 with, again, Chris Middleton as his second option. The very next season in 2022, he lost a heartbreaking 7-game series to the loaded-ass Boston Celtics, a series in which Middleton was out for the entirety of, meaning Giannis's second 2 scoring options in that one were Drew Holiday and Pat Connaughton. No shame at all in that loss. The next season, Giannis would return with a vengeance. The season Joel Embiid stole the pity MVP award from Nikola Jokic in 2023. Yeah, and if there was one guy not named Nikola Jokic that should have won that award that year, it was actually Giannis Antetokounmpo, who captured the best record in the NBA that season. Yes, it wasn't the stacked Celtics or Sixers that did it. It wasn't Jokic, but rather the Bucks, led by Giannis with Drew Holiday as his second option, that had the best record in the league. Alas, disaster would strike in the first game of their opening round playoff series that season against the Heat, with Giannis taking a hard foul in the first quarter of Game 1, an injury that would require him to miss the first 3 games of that series, while rushing back at less than 100% in Game 4 to ultimately lose the series to the Heat, who themselves ended up running all the way to the NBA Finals that season before coming up against Jokic on on his historic tear. The following season, that would be last year, for the first time ever, finally Giannis got a star running mate in Dame Lillard and promptly got hurt again just days before the postseason started, ultimately being forced to miss the entirety of the Bucks' first-round series and ultimate elimination at the hands of the Pacers in 6 games. But this year is the year the Bucks will finally get into the postseason with a healthy squad and 2 stars to deploy. Because of course not, as Damian Lillard was recently diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis and is out indefinitely, aka likely for the rest of the season, including any length of the playoffs. I mean, what more do you want from this guy in these playoff losses? He just hasn't been healthy or had anywhere near the supporting casts required to win multiple titles. The fact he has won, like with Nikola Jokic, is nothing short of an absolute miracle, and he individually continues to prove he is an absolute freak. So while we frantically search for the next up-and-coming player to compare to Nikola Jokic, perhaps it's worth pointing out that the guy who is likely the closest to him has been around now for a while.